So there I was, sitting in St Aldate's, when I heard the original announcement of home.
11 years ago, home was just an idea, in all probability conceived more out of foolishness than out of wisdom, but nevertheless a twinkle in the eye of God. And then 10 years ago, the idea grew arms and legs, came to full term, became enfleshed in the people that first made up home and was born. We really didn't know what we were doing when we first started. We thought we were some sort of answer, but if truth be told, I'm not sure we really understood the question.
I'm grateful to home for playing Miles Davis when I walked in, because I thought, I can come to this church.
I'm most grateful to home for providing the opportunity to be how I actually want to be as a Christian. I guess before I found home I didn't realise that there were other ways apart from the kind of straightforward mainstream everybody thinks this is what you've got to believe.
The reason I keep coming to home is because it's the only church in Oxford where it expresses how I've experienced God the rest of the week.
I am grateful to home for being a spacious place where I've been able to explore my spirituality and ask difficult questions, sometimes openly, sometimes internally, while still feeling that I'm completely accepted.
I'm grateful for home for being a place of generosity in the way that we are generous to each other and we look after each other, but also in the way that we try new ideas and do new things, be that things like grow zones or be that things huddles and looking at different themes. There's a willingness to be generous and explore new things.
I am most grateful to home for never discounting any thought as heretic.
What I learned about home is the creativeness, the play, the artistic variation, and the way we did prayers and how we expressed ourselves as a community.
What I like about church is singing. I like church because it's pretty, and I like the dancing and the bread at the end.
I'm most grateful to home for introducing me to the value of silence and prayer and spirituality.
I'm most grateful to home for Matt because of his sense of fun.
Okay, I would like to say thank you to home for Sam, for Liliana, for Pippa and lots of cups of tea, for Matt, for Tess, Pete, Fiona, Tracy and everyone who I've shared a cup of tea and a meal with.
I'm grateful to home because they or you have just been so immensely welcoming, and I feel, if you'll forgive me, at home. You've all been extremely friendly and I feel like you've accepted me amazingly quickly, so I'm immensely grateful for that. Thank you very much.
So Isla, what's your favourite thing about home?
I've forgotten to.
Okay, you're on. I'm most grateful to home for the open, welcoming community, doing grow zones together, and my great friends here.
What are you most grateful to home for?
Probably mostly the sense of community, getting to know people. It's been a wonderful year for that. And also Grow Zones has been definitely a highlight this year. Great fun also getting to know people and having fun in the garden with them. And is that enough?
Most grateful to home for the space it provides, for faith, fellowship, for being chilled, for not being anything or anywhere else, for not telling me what to do, come back Tim, for meetings at 244, film nights, weekends away, Pete's Bluegrass, Tessa's timeless wisdom, Vicar Matt, and for being like a TARDIS, which is bigger on the inside than the outside, but Tim says that's just too weird to mention.
I'm grateful for home, for being amongst inspiring people. People in home are kind and creative and generous and caring of each other, and it's an inspirational place to be.
I haven't been to home as much as I'd like. I don't get invited, but I've had any contact I've had. It's been really encouraging, and I'm just delighted that we've got this kind of edgy, different, open, textured, imaginative, explorative kind of work going on in this wider Christian family. So thank you for being there. Have a great evening. Have a beer on, no, not on me, just for me. Go well.
I'm grateful to home for witnessing, blessing and supporting Chris and I through 3 major life transitions and spiritual rites of passage, our wedding and the birth and baptism of both our boys, Joshua and Nathaniel.
I'm most grateful to home for the Essence course that was run in 2011. I've been going through some quite hard times in my personal life, and it just gave me a chance to put things back together again in a very safe and supportive environment, mostly involved junk modelling. And it was also at the Essence course that I first ever baked things that people seemed to want to eat, and that was also in its way a small life-changing event. So thanks home, happy birthday.
I'm most grateful to home for providing some stability when I first moved to Oxford, and also for letting me lead a discussion on dyslexia and religion, and also for allowing me to help lead some music there in the services.
So I have a selection of my archives of home, and we have a range of services, sampling of the various services, the 2-year period of our monastic journey. I even have the sermon from our initiation and the cross that we wore as our symbol for the years. I have Still Point with Maybe. We had a merge with Maybe. Some of our learnings, our exercises, our teaching, our journeys of in and out and up and down.
I've been looking for a community to feel at home in for a long time, a number of years, and it's great to have finally found it. There are many things I really appreciate about home, and up there amongst my favourite is the way we celebrate communion.
I like having bed and socks.
Home for me was a large part of keeping me alive when all seemed chaos. It made sense out of nothingness. And that's because of the witness of you all to the amazing power and mystery of God. Thank you, home.
Someone once said that home is about the possibility, and it is. The possibility of doing something different that grows out of a wider wisdom. Home just makes sense, even when I don't.
I'd like to think that after 10 years we are perhaps beginning to comprehend the questions at least. And it's the questioners who've joined us along the way, the pilgrims who have hitched their wagon to this wandering pilgrim train, some for years, some for months, some just for weeks, who through their participation have made this community what it is today. We talk a lot about possibility in home, the possibility of waking up to God's presence, the possibility of wonder, etc. For me, it's the possibility of community that's been one of the most enduring aspects of what makes home special. The possibility that together, despite our very obvious flaws, our differences, rough edges, foolishness, we can discover something beautiful, taking shape amongst us, woven into our very humanity. We're 10 years old now, coming into adolescence. The questioning and the struggling will no doubt continue. I hope it does. I hope we won't be satisfied with easy answers. The only answers worth anything are the ones hard fought for and won through oftentimes bitter experience. But as we've learnt faithfulness to the questions, faithfulness to each other, we've discovered again and again God's faithfulness to us. There's so much, looking back over 10 years, to be thankful for, but above and beyond everything else, let's give thanks for this, for God's faithfulness. Thanks be to God.